What convocation?
One for tomorrow you come into.
The convocation or what?
Well, how certain traditions were established within the gospel music workshop, and then you had mentioned before also some other documents like a oh gosh, what is the word?
All right, you really
Constitution, like a constitution. Someone talked about a constitution.
They did that in the beginning.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's my question: is when you first developed gospel music workshop, and then the chapters started to come in, and then there were other pieces like the Constitution. Who was in charge of kind of developing the structure in the beginning?
The board of directors.
The board of directors. And who were the original board at that time?
Okay, the board of directors.
I'm the bishop.
You're the bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They were over here.
I think if you get him,
It should be in
Yeah, it's in the book.
it's in the book.
That's
Oh,
in the
there
book.
is a book?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, let me see if I can.
No, it's not a book from the, it's in the first, it's in the first,
That's
And I'm curious to know if James was probably, was it all his, like, who he appointed? Did he?
That's who he appointed for the
it was
board
how
of
it started?
directors.
so was it just
Yes.
amended?
He appointed
It was-
the board.
You would put amendment.
It was his convention.
Okay.
There's no if, ands, or buts
No,
about it.
no,
Okay.
Okay. And then where is that
His
document?
convention.
Where is that
And it was
document?
started in
Is that
'68.
Members in
Detroit.
Huh?
These are directors here.
And there's a film that I showed.
you need to get the book.
That history book,
Because
I
it's
have
in
that.
there.
Yeah, I
It's
have
on-
that.
that history
Little
book will tell
spiral
all
bound
that,
has
16.
does it have a copy of the Constitution in it?
Yeah,
It
it's
used
got
to.
everything in there.
Do you know if that document still
I told
exists
him
somewhere?
she didn't get the Constitution.
The original?
Listen, I don't know and I don't care,
It's in the archive.
And guess what?
because,
We changed the Constitution.
right,
Not changed it.
It's a
add it to
living
it, you add it,
document,
You're amending
a
it.
minute.
Yes, it's a living document. So, each year. Now, this book is on sale, $20, but it contains, it's the third
Oh, this is
edition.
third edition,
It
okay.
contains everything. Yes. Yeah. And it gives you some history. Like I said, I'm working on another publication about the early people in the convention. And like I said, when she talks about Ed Smith, and you say, it's just too much to absorb, you can take this up to your room and say, oh, this is Ed Smith.
No, that was Sheila Smith Hudson.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's
right,
the
okay.
picture.
And Mark Smith's father. Mark Smith is the
Yeah,
convention.
so he's like taking over.
He just supposed to look in so they see
Okay.
But he worked closely with his father. And
Charles. He's on here.
yes,
So every convention.
yeah, he pulls everything together.
But it's in.
I want you to tell how many
about the
times
Constitution.
we amended the Constitution. You know,
Three times.
once in Philadelphia, and then we amended it again.
Right, and then 1991, when
She wanted to know.
when we revamped.
We didn't change it, we just
We just
amended
It's
it.
a living document.
No. In 1991, it was completely redone.
That's right. We in Philadelphia.
Right.
This is after his pay. This was after.
Yeah, Reverend Cleveland's passing, yeah.
Was it to amend it to create the establishment of the chairman position?
No,
Is that-
No.
I was
That
just
was
asking
part of
because
it. That was part of it. That was
before-
part of it,
Okay,
yeah.
so Cleveland was always chairman.
He was
Before he
president.
Before he passed. I got you,
President.
okay.
And then,
'Cause I just thought he was
after
founding
he
president.
died,
Hold on, let's
Yeah.
ask one question.
At a time. He was still,
yeah, after Reverend Cleveland died, we revamped the whole organization to include a chairman of the board and vice chairs, which run the convention. The chairman is only, I ain't gonna say that.
Chairman of the board.
Yeah. Spokesperson and the spokesperson. But we have vice chairs that are supposed to run, and that's how the division came about. Yeah.
So the title of president was dropped.
Yeah,
Right,
we,
that's
we,
what it
we
was.
retired the title
No
of
more
president.
president,
No.
we retired.
We used to have an advisory board too.
That's right.
We used to have
That was remember Dr. Claiborne and
Claiborne and Charles.
Sanders, yeah.
Hicks from New York. Albert was talking about.
That's right. That's
He was on the.
and I think it was only three.
It was three that remained.
Yeah, it was only three of
And the
them.
funny thing, y'all, let me say this here, no one knows it. When we first started, Harold Smith was the president
Yes.
of it. Lawrence Roberts was the vice president. Now, I'm telling you, am I right? Am I right?
Yeah, but
listen,
there was no document. Yeah, there was no documentation
No,
on that.
there
Yeah.
wasn't no
Yeah,
documentation.
like somebody told me the other day that Thurston Frazier was. There's no documentation that Thurston Frazier was the president.
No.
He never was.
He never was.
That's what I.
He never was.
But somebody said that just this week.
Well, people say things that they don't know.
Oh,
That's
I know.
why
I know who it was, Jane. Melvin Wade.
Well, Melvin Williams wasn't even in here.
He's in California, so he gonna come. That's right.
Yeah,
No, he is never the president.
Well, at that time,
I knew. Because
cut it down because you'll get people
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah,
And
we
you'll
were
be
on
running
the
rapid.
stage when he
Yeah,
he
it was
spoke.
last night, I
Yeah,
think.
but no, it was Sunday, and he tried to give and said that what's his name, Thurston Frazier, and Audrey looked at me, and I don't know, but I researched, and if you look in the history book, you'll see he was just a member.
I just got
He
to tell you
was.
that.
I said. He was the whole choir that first started.
Yeah, he
The
was-
Ensemble Forces of Victory. That choir started. Thurston Frazier was a little boy on that, just like Cleo with James. She was a little girl.
Anything.
Yeah, she was on the Hornets.
Well, now,
It's
Cleo,
not important.
did you hear Monday night? I think it was. What did y'all sing?
We sang.
Okay, Birmingham. Did you?
Cleo sang for.
Yeah, Cleo.
Yeah, but who was it? She led a song. Was
She
it
led the song.
99?
That was Monday for the
Okay,
Andre
that's
Crouch.
Cleo who
Yeah.
Cleo
That's
talking
what I'm
about.
talking about. Cleo.
Yeah.
No, Cleo, what's Cleo's last name?
Cleo Kennedy. She was the last group of Cleveland. She was in the last group. There were several
right.
The
groups.
one who sang, they got the word.
Y'all, if you collect all them people, we'll be here till tomorrow.
Yeah. They Cleveland singers, there were so many that were a part of it.
Different
Cleo
groups.
was one of those.
Reverend Bryant, he was coming down. He's ill.
I wonder why
I get
he wasn't-
this air conditioner guy,
Yeah.
but he was one of the Cleveland singers
Who?
as well. Eugene Bryant.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 3 years ago where they had a reunion of the James Cleveland singers at one
But
time.
you can have a
Maybe, I don't know.
reunion of the ones that's living, and they had one at a reunion, and I have a little blurb of them on my YouTube channel.
That's
We were at the Gospel Supreme, Reverend Maceo Woods, Gospel Supreme, and he brought a reunion together, a reunion set. But that still wasn't all of them because Betty wasn't in. It still was a lot. So, you may never get a reunion of those people that's still living. Betty Green.
Sandy, I would like to say this. A lot of people don't know. Like when I said Harold Smith, Lawrence London, Earl Preston was on it, the board. Ralph Goodpasture, all of us was on the board, the original board. We had the first board meeting. James wanted to say something. He would let it in. But he said, James, you gotta raise your hand. I said, it's James' convention, he didn't hand. So they would stop him. You know what I mean? James, you gotta raise your hand. Yeah, so.
That was
Yeah.
Harold Smith.
Yeah, and that's, see, what Lawrence Roberts was telling him, oh, you just can't blurt in. You're the founder, but you ain't the president. Well, that lasted 1 year. We left that board meeting, he said, this is my convention. Never talk when I can talk. And he became the president and the founder. That's how it went.
And then when you said that there was an advisory board up through 91, and then that changed.
When did we get the advisory board? It's in the book.
The advisory board started, let's see, we revised again when Simmons came. That was what, 77 or 78. And that's when that stuff started coming into. But we've only used that one time, and that was what he was referring to. Dr. Harold Claiborne, Hicks, and Charles Sanders, who was the president of what is that? Ebony or?
No, he wasn't the
He went
president.
to
He was a writer
One of the writers for Ebony magazine.
for Ebony magazine.
We had meetings, board meetings at Johnson's Publishing Company. We met when he moved in that new building on Michigan Avenue. You remember that?
Now, listen to this. Reverend Reverend Norma Jean Pittman of Detroit, Michigan, and others who have a love for gospel music. But I just wanted to show you this to clarify what Melvin Wade said. No,
Not
he
so.
wasn't.
Not so.
No, he was not. He was not. He was not. He was just on the board of Thurston Frazier.
That's right.
He was on the board when?
Yeah, he was on the board.
He was on the board. No, but he was on the board.
Yeah.
He wasn't president.
No.
No.
He was just a regular.
See, look, okay, in 1969, he was on the board.
You see 30 years.
Yeah. But he wasn't the president as Melvin Wade
I can
told
tell
you.
y'all
No,
when
he
they
was
all
not.
came.
Yeah. And then too, you got to look at one more thing people don't understand. We weren't called the Gospel Music Workshop of America. It was called the Gospel Music Association.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Now you're gonna drive into another thing.
That's right.
Y'all be, okay. I know that his time was very short, Frazier.
Yeah, because he was killed.
He was killed. It was very suddenly that he was killed. I know that he didn't have a lot to do with a lot of things. That's
What you talking about?
I'm talking about Frazier. He didn't last long.
When did it change? When did it change from the association?
It changed from the association in a matter of months.
No, I mean, what year?
Oh, no, when we started.
It was only months. It never got
okay.
never got out to the
Never
public.
got out.
There's some things that he was involved in on the board of directors never got out to the public. Okay? Never got out to the public. It was never meant to get out to the public. Remember when this man started this convention, he had a vision of doing it and pulling people together, and there was hundreds of things that we did not know. That we did not know. He gave us $2,500 to start. We started, how we gonna do this, what we gonna do, and it started to move it. And as people began, the first convention was in Detroit, it had 3,000 people. we still didn't know what all we're gonna do, but we were great. It was good that the people that were there from different, we used to have, what would they call it, we had those state meetings, remember?
State reps.
Yeah, we had those state
We didn't
meetings.
call them chapter reps, we call them state representatives.
State reps first, but we had meetings like, if you were here Tuesday afternoon, the East and the Midwest sang together. It was tremendous for us. We went to Chicago, Chicago came to us. We created a relationship. Years ago, they used to have those type of meetings. The people would have them within their state. Oakland and Los Angeles and somebody else could come together and have a meeting, and they would explain to the people what about the workshop and how they could join the workshop and how they could become a part. What we're missing now, listen to me, I'll be there in a minute. What we're missing now, but we're growing, is the involvement of our people within other areas.
Say that again, say that again.
The involvement of other people within your area. With Chicago and Detroit coming together, there were women, there were people in the Michigan, in Detroit chapter that brought people in, and some of those people with coming here for this convention and said, Sandy told me about 10 of them said, they stood up Sunday. We gathered in new people. If we're gonna keep on going, we're not gonna be here all the time. You gotta bring in new people and give to them what they need to know about gospel music, what they can take back to their church, the business that they can help them, the schooling. We've got musicians playing for churches, don't know where A flat is. Now with music as prominent as it is, these guys, we got to bring in other folk. We've got, and I said it the other day, and I don't mean to keep the same thing, that our chapter rep is not a musician, but our chapter rep is a woman that at one time had 2,400 employees under her at Detroit Receiving Hospital. She was a vice president in Detroit, the president, and Detroit Receiving Hospital, and it was one of the greatest trauma centers in the country.
CEO for Detroit Medical Center.
Iris Taylor.
Yes, and so when you think of people, of bringing people in, you can't just bring somebody in because they can play.
That's right.
And because they can sing. There are people that don't want to be in that, but they may be able to get you funding. They may be able to help you move to your next spot.
That's right. That's right.
Just civic, you're talking about civic relationships, and
Yes.
networking within the government, within the business world.
Yes.
Yeah,
People that know how to write grants.
that's right.
And then too, you know, when Dr. Simmons revamped it in the 70s
Yeah.
and he put an emphasis on degrees with the faculty people. But now we found out that we can no longer just say just degree people, because there's expertise in all areas. And these people, and I don't mean to say these people, they are very much needed in the convention. Do you know what grant writers get? Do you know what grant writers get? And we got several of them. I'm a grant writer. We got several of them, and they never paid me. But
They're getting paid.
here again, just one second, Norma Jean, and you use this word Tuesday. There's some of us that were here for the love of the organization, and we never did get. You know,
A lot of things
that's
we
right.
didn't get.
That's right.
But
That's
we
right.
loved each other.
Yeah.
And you know, people want to be loved, want to be cared for. A lot of us are in churches, and because
That's
we
all.
love the church.
That's right.
You know
To
what?
be needed and appreciated.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yes.
It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
And in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, safety is, and we feel safe.
Yes.
But it's a feeling. We feel safe. And some of us have been here 40 plus years because of the feeling and the love and loving the Lord and loving Jesus and loving each other. And that has
Adults
kept
walk up
us
to me.
coming back.
I have kids, adults walk up to me now. I'm crazy, you know. I never thought
not
I
even
was
a
going
part
to
of
get
this
old.
class, excuse me.
I didn't even want to ever be labeled old. And I did.
You're lucky you live.
I mean, you got that right. And I have them coming up to me saying, I remember you when I was 13. I came to the convention when I was 15. I remember you at the Come As You Are musical. One girl, we was on the elevator last night, and one girl said, what's the matter?
No, he was asking, was it Sean? And I
Was on the elevator, and when I got on the elevator to go up to the girl said, she said, we better not make no noise because Reverend Mother will get us. I mean, and I wasn't even Reverend Mother then. I've only become Reverend Mother in the past 18 years. But we walked
Yes, you
these
were.
halls.
Yes, you were.
We walked these halls. These kids, some of these kids that come to this convention was wild and crazy.
Yes, they were.
I mean, you talking about wild and crazy.
Especially,
I remember a bus load.
especially at the Cadillac Sheridan and.
Them dogs, when they put them dogs on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Philadelphia.
Ooh,
Put
yeah.
them dogs on them.
I remember in
remember
Cleveland,
some
the first
stories.
time in Cleveland, a bus load come from Buffalo and got off the bus. The reason outside, James said, "Get back on the bus. Go back home." Send them back home.
We can
That's
bring it
because
up.
of the way they
But see,
clean
here's the
and
thing.
how
Here's
they
the-
look.
Yes,
Yeah.
When they
See,
presented, they were wild looking.
Yeah.
And the founder said, "Oh no.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
got
can't
to
have
go back."
this.
He said, "I pay y'all to go back home." I remember that.
You see, here's the bottom line. No one wasn't there. She said the barber shop. James gone. You wasn't in the hotel when we
Oh,
started.
I know what you're talking about. Stop talking so fast.
She wasn't there. James calls all together. Only ones I knew was Lawrence Robbins and Banks brothers,
Jeff.
Jim, because they were from east and from north. So Bubba Johnson and Ronnie Ingram and all them I didn't meet. Fulton was there. No, Fulton wasn't there. Irvin Brockington from Philadelphia. I was from Philadelphia. And Mr. Love from CVS. He called all of us together.
Did you say Reverend Nix?
Huh?
Did you say Nix?
Nix.
Now, what you talking about Philadelphia stuff?
No, I'm talking when we first started in the hotel room in on Woodward
At the
Avenue.
London Inn.
The London
London
Inn.
Inn. There was Snellers and then people from
Los
what-
Angeles.
Yeah, come there with them little jackets and loafers and Leslie Bush said, "I told y'all don't come here with them ice cream shoes. Y'all freeze to death." But we was from the East, we know it's going. But anyhow, that's where we originally started.
That's where y'all originally started.
Yeah.
Don't buck my story, because we were in that
Okay.
flower shop.
Then we went to the church, St. James.
St. James.
Went to St. James. And Clarence Cobb come, am I right?
Yep.
Good passion,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? James, that's when the name was changed. Constitution had Ed and Sheila and James and Annette. All that was done. Now, James didn't want to name no board of directors because he had people from all over. So, Reverend Cobb, Bishop Cobb said, "Well, listen, you know these people you brought up, you know the capabilities. You got to pick a board of directors." And he didn't want to do it. But I said, you gotta do it. Lonzo Aikens, the little guy that directed. I think you all seen him.
Yeah.
They're honoring Lonzo tomorrow night.
Where? Oh, he's North Carolina?
Yeah. John P. Key got a release album. And Lonzo, cause me and
Yeah, that's the interview that we saw on the video. That was Alonzo. And we also saw him this morning on the stage. He's on the Blues Brothers, and like I said, Reverend Cleveland put gospel in films. He put gospel in movies. They asked him to put gospel on TV. That's a lot of how we got to see a lot of this was through Reverend.
That's right. I never thought we'd get to Carnegie Hall.
Because you can see Cleo in the Blues Brothers.
I've got a question. I just want to step back for a minute. In terms of networking, how did you, a lot of the people that James Cleveland brought in were educated. You spoke about that and wanting degrees and things. How have you interacted with universities in terms of curriculum? And have you ever had? Very good. Because I've had this idea and I just don't know, again, what the history is. Helen taught at Marin College, Helen Stevens. She brought in a whole gospel program into that. And no one's replicated that since she dropped it.
She got it from me.
Okay, so no one's picked that up again, and you know Deborah Ray's still in Marin, Deborah Ray Thompson's still in Marin, Euless is in Marin with Lighthouse, and I've kept saying, why aren't we going back to the college? Why aren't we bringing this back in? Okay. And I just wanted to know. So if Helen goes in and teaches a class,
good question.
How do you keep using the GMWA name? Do you know what I mean? So it's not just Helen's curriculum. We're actually going in as the convention to a university and saying we want to teach the convention education.
I have developed a special academic program book, and there is nothing that you could, and excuse my putting in paper, I'm a teacher and that's that teacher part in me. There is nothing that you can imagine that we have not done or have not thought of. And all of that is included in that special academic program book. If you go on our website, in the academic pages, the last statement on there, to get one of those books, it will give you the instruction. And I'm sorry that I don't have one with me, and I usually have those
What's the title, sir?
with me, huh?
What's the title? The title of the
Special Academic Programs book. Programs book. And I'll send you a link to get it. To get it.
Tell her first, when we first started, we didn't have that.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, mother know that. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Through Dr. Simmons,
That's right.
that we got all of those different programs. Then when I took over, and I was under his tutelage, and I never knew that, Norman, that I would become the dean of the convention. Now, I thought Terry, what was that other one? Marion Rogers from Lexington, Kentucky, and Herbert, because they were there. They were there.
But you
You
were
were on that
special.
conference call.
Yeah, I was on that conference call. But you were special because Dean could be mean.
Yep.
They could be mean. Is that what you mean?
Yes,
That's
Lord.
Dean Simmons. That's
Yes,
you mentioned that
He's
before.
a
Yeah.
slave
I mean, listen, he's educated, mean man. United Methodist.
But see, I was learning from him,
Yes, he-
and I took the meanness and all of that, because I was learning from him.
She showed
So
us.
how can like she was saying with the university, how far reaching is the workshop in university?
We have that program. We have a program. We have a consortium. And we have academic partnerships with several institutions across the country. The one I'm using now, Wright State University, and we do give credit for.
That's okay, so you can get credit, college